Greetings, programs! Welcome back to Showcase Cinema. Today we're going to set our Wayback Machines to 1982 to review one of my top 10 favorites of all time, Tron. Now, I was going to wait until this channel grew a little bit more to do this one, but the mood just hit me, so here we are. So break out your light cycles, fire up your recognizers, and join me on the game grid as we review one heck of a movie. So let's start the discussion today with a few little facts about the movie Tron. It was released on July 9, 1982 from Walt Disney Pictures. It had a budget of $17 million with a final gross of $50 million, making it a modest success in the box office. But it was the merchandise and the game sales that were the real gold for this IP. Tron was directed by Steven Lisberger, who also wrote the film, along with Bonnie McBird and Charles S. Haas. Now, this is really interesting to me because all three of these folks are pretty much only known for Tron stories, with not much else that I could find as far as filmography goes. Tron stars Jeff Bridges, Bruce Boxleitner as Tron, David Warner, Cindy Morgan, who I learned sadly passed away just a couple of months ago in 2023, and Bernard Hughes. Each of these folks played themselves in the real world as well as their computerized counterparts, with David Warner also supplying the voice for the corrupt Master Control program. Now, the facts and trivia about Tron are simply far too numerous for us to even start reviewing in this video, so here are some things that you might find interesting, and some of this I knew and some I found out by a little bit of research. The filming of the actors in the game grid was done in black and white, and all of the color in the movie and background and everything was added later by hand or CGI at the time. And speaking of CGI, Tron has the honor of having the first, or at least one of the first, fully CGI characters. There's a little guy named Bit that says yes and no. The first extensive use of CGI for a movie was also in Tron, and the first fully CGI backgrounds as well. Some of this can be debated a little bit, but suffice it to say that Tron was definitely a technological breakthrough of a movie, but more on that later. And the last little piece of trivia that I found was that the computer used to render all of these fabulous images that we see in the movie had only 2 megabytes of memory and 330 megabytes of storage. And that is just mind-blowing considering what we see and what computers and even telephones can do today. There is just so much more information on this movie available, including a feature-length documentary with interviews, behind-the-scenes footage, and a lot more. And that's available here on YouTube, and I definitely encourage you to go check that out. So what's the movie about? Well, here's my personal synopsis. In this movie, we follow the adventures of Kevin Flynn, who is a bright and energetic computer programmer who's trying to build evidence to clear his name with his previous employer, Encom. And he wants to expose the wrongdoings of a sneaky corporate executive named Ed Dillinger, played by David Warner. Flynn, with the help of his ex-girlfriend Laura and her new boyfriend Alan, infiltrates the company's systems in hopes of bringing the truth to light. But to do that, he must get past the nefarious Master Control Program, or MCP, which was created by Dillinger and has taken up a personality of its own. Things happen, of course, and Flynn is transported into the computer system itself by Dillinger's evil creation. After figuring out where he is, Flynn enlists the help of other programs to bring down the MCP and free the denizens of the virtual world. And now let's talk a little bit about why this movie is special to me. And as I think about this and try to jot down some ideas, it's kind of hard for me to point to anything specific that stands out. Now, before I continue here, I am speaking specifically from the standpoint of being a Gen Xer, and I was a young boy of about 9 or so years old when I first saw this movie. Tron, to me and so many other Gen Xers, was transformative. We were entering the computerized age, and with so many things becoming possible with computers at the time, our minds were just blown away when this movie came around. The world was opening up to us, both from a coming-of-age standpoint as well as the technological advances of the time. Tron visualized this. and it gave it form and substance. It gave us a world to explore with visuals and landscapes, showing an infinite universe filled with wonders. The sights and sounds and pure visualization of what we all had in our minds just worked. And as I got older, more aspects of the movie became apparent. The movie touches on philosophical grounds. It discusses faith, beliefs, superstitions, and it does it all without calling too much of it out into the foreground. And when we go back and think of this movie, we can see the influences of many religions, including no religion at all. It just manages to pull all of this off in a beautiful way, and it's kind of hard to explain. The world of Tron is just amazing. I find myself looking at it even today, and in every scene, I wonder what's out there. Where does that tunnel lead? What's in the next room, and what are those programs doing in there? The visuals of this movie have always been just amazing to me, and I never get tired of it. And all of this is wrapped around a really cool story. We have two main heroes in the film, both with real-world counterparts, and a few antagonists as well. It's an ensemble of just a few people playing multiple characters, and each one melds into the next just perfectly, with no one character taking too much time over the others. There are, of course, some plot conveniences and a few minor inconsistencies in the movie, but those can be brushed away with a light swipe of the hand. This movie is pure magic, and I think is still ahead of its time, as is its sequel, Tron Legacy, which, like its older brother, just gets better with age. And we will be reviewing Tron Legacy on this channel at some point. I think we're all still catching up to Tron, and there's an amazing world here, and one I hope to see more of in years to come. There are quite a few spin-offs, some great video games, and a lot of content out there if you're interested in this IP. So what are your thoughts on this movie? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, if there's a movie that you'd like to see reviewed on this channel, use #suggestion in the comments below and let me know what movie you'd like to see, and we'll consider putting it up. Thank you so much for your time, everyone, and if you're enjoying these videos, would really appreciate a subscription on the channel and a like and a comment and all that good stuff. We'll see you down the road. Take care.
End of line.